It looks like it's Photoshop. Like it's not real. That when you see the video, it looks like it's like a.
Is that the
like
Liverpool
a
thing?
hologram? It's not actually doing it, but
It's like a stage play about winning the Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Because what's his face is in.
He does a
what's that
cameo.
That gremlin coach called? This one. What's he called? Sammy Lee.
Gremlin coach.
Oh, he looks like he's brewed in Mordor, wasn't he?
Oh, we're testing that.
Right.
Oh no, I think you started.
Oh, I didn't realise it. Sorry.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the Happy Podcast.
Oh, it's just amazing.
Can you believe it?
It was never in doubt.
The unofficial...
Oh, just a minute. I beg your pardon?
Maybe we should just sit here and just let Deka apologise for everything he said last week.
Well, firstly,
look at the camera.
I think Deka needs to apologise for actually
wearing clothes,
being fully clothed.
Am I on the stand yet? Can I have me say it?
Yeah.
Right. So
we'll just sit back and let them dig themselves about this one.
So I said that we'll go way ages ago, and someone that says we'll get crosses in the box and we'll score goals and we'll do this and we'll do that, and I says that I don't think we'll even have 5 shots on target in the game. I then said if we actually scored 5 goals in the game, I would do the podcast in me boxer shorts. Then that somehow went from that to beating someone 1-0. I don't understand.
That was months ago. That.
So then I've listened to last week's and I was like, I never said once about getting naked. Like,
yeah, maybe we said it when you weren't listening.
Maybe you weren't paying attention.
I listened to it truthfully because if I had have said it, I was like, I'll do it then. Now, if I had have said it, I would have done it.
Now, do you want to look at the camera and apologise to everyone you offended last week?
Who did I offend? Right. No, that's you did that. You did that.
Oh, wait!
Nah.
Those words didn't come out of our mouth.
Nah. You were being I can't even think of the word.
Is he swimming yet?
No, I just thought that it would have been tough for him, never playing this league, blah 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 blah, coming in.
He said something about foreign goalkeepers.
Yeah, I said, then he was going, stealing my jobs.
So he was Matt Sells.
Yeah, well, I did. No, I didn't say he was Matt Sells. I said it was not. It could happen. It could happen.
All I'm hearing is excuses. Are you Alan Pardew?
Well, to be fair, because we met Rafa the other day, that was before the game.
We did. We met Rafa.
It was the tips that we gave him that won the game. You know what I mean?
I think it's his Rafa Lucian badge.
Yes, I love how we give him a badge. Like,
did
he loved it.
I did.
He loved it when you give him it. Like he did. He was like,
he had a massive smile. Like
he did.
He's probably smiling, going, "What the fuck is this shit?"
It was brilliant. Honestly, I loved it.
Well, no, it was a kind of little week.
Would you also like to apologise for laughing at me, Mark?
I listened to it back.
His face was that.
How it really started.
Oh yeah, we can't beat Burnley. We can't beat Stoke. We can't beat Huddersfield.
When did he turn into an old man? We couldn't beat Burnley.
We're not gonna beat second top, man, are we?
I
beg your pardon?
The reason why I said second top was
we're not going to beat second top.
I said would stay up, and you went, we're playing the top 6, right? So literally did. He went, we've got the top 6, right? And I said,
I turned into a 6-year-old. He turned into a 60-year-old.
And then I says, well, what are you worried about the top 6 for when you think we can beat second? Because you were like, well, beat them, bother. He said 3-1. He was absolutely eating fairy cakes or something.
I was hoping for a draw.
Oh,
you're hoping for a draw? Yeah. No, you're hoping for a win.
No, I was hoping for a draw.
No, you hope for a win.
No. I was hoping for, well, all right.
You don't go to a
still
game
hoping for a draw.
You hope for a win.
I wasn't as pessimistic as you were. Like, even on the morning of the match, you were still going,
you were on Twitter that morning.
We've just got to keep this score down. I can see it being a cricket score. And I was like, fucking hell, man. Have some happy pills, will you, kid?
When I seen the lineup, I was even more negative.
That's what I mean.
And I messaged
Damage
you
limitation.
and I was like, fucking hell, how bad's this lineup like?
Did I say something, did I?
I
was drunk by then, sorry.
There's a damage limitation, this one.
I was drunk. Well, maybe the team.
And I hadn't seen the team until I came and met you in the pub, did I? And I was like, what
to be fair, when I
read that, even you two said...
When I read the team out, you went, all gone, oh.
Of course you would. Then you look at their team, and it was just like, Galacticos here. Every single player was just unreal.
Well, the words, that was the point, wasn't it?
Another reason why we won as well, it wasn't because I wore my 95-96 gear. We had a new guy that
all the Revolution badge
announced like the things.
Yes, he did.
Aye, but did you notice he still sounded almost the same?
But did he not do the substitutes, the normal one?
No, it was a new kid, but he sounded at times like the...
Are we celebrating someone getting the sack here?
I think he's retired because he's been
there.
The
game!
No, I think he might have just been ill.
Because we used to have Barry in the box back in the day.
What a game to miss.
Well, he shouldn't be coming back. You shouldn't employ him again. Well, he's been Man United.
He is shit, like his music selection and everything.
Do you know who else I met?
No, his music, that's done by fans. It's not done by him.
Is it? Oh, God.
Oh, it's the fans.
Shit fans. I'm off again, shit fans.
Do you know who else I met after the game, after you had left?
Oh, I met
In
somebody.
Maddie's.
Is it the same person?
Don't know, who do you meet?
I don't know, you go first, I'll tell you.
The drummer?
The drummer, yes!
Yes!
So I met the drummer, I met Toon Chance, Warhem, and War Flags.
All of them?
They were all there.
Wait?
I think
That was the ones making all the bloody noise in Maddie's. Well, you know when I went to leave and I was stood at the stairs for ages, so I was talking to some... I haven't talked to you about this yet.
Well, I know, that's why I'm just...
So I was talking to who does the account Toon Chance, but he's part of Warhem and War Flags and all that. So I had a good little...
So did you send them over to me afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Because he recognised this as I was walking away. He was like, oh, yeah, well. I was like,
He's famous. He thinks he's famous.
And that's it.
It was
I
them.
was like,
What
oh,
are you eating again? What was
the other lads are over there.
Jaffa
as well.
cakes, that's how they knew.
The Jaffa cake. You're the kid that eats all the Jaffa cakes.
A brain of Jaffa cakes.
So, yes.
What did you think though about the flag situation? Now I know that bearing in mind, I can only go on the information
Well,
I
at
thought I
first,
had at the time.
when in the... Well, we'll recap for people listening. War Flags put out a tweet saying, due to restrictions, there'll be no display today. And that was it. And straight away you put in the group saying that, oh look, Ashley's like, step in.
Aye.
Well, that
Most
was
people assumed it.
everybody's
And
assumption, wasn't
my
it?
first thought was, it's something else. Like, and I put it in the group and I thought it was something to do with lack of numbers. That's what I thought it would have been.
Aye, it is, aye.
But it came out that Lee Marshall said that it was due to people running on the pitch during the last display, setting up the last display. But then War Flags are also arguing against that, saying, well, yeah, it did happen, but that's not the reason we're not allowed in. So they're just arguing between each other.
people around
It's
the
not
pitch-
going to end
So-
like nicely this like.
So what do you mean? So when people
During they were setting up, like, do you know how we go in a couple of days before and they set up
Right.
and stuff, apparently people went on the pitch.
playing 5-a-side and that,
Well, not
see.
playing 5
No, I
right,
went
yeah.
on the pitch to like take a picture, etc.
And obviously,
Allegedly.
the guidelines will be you do not go on the pitch. You know, if you go on a stadium tour, you're not allowed anywhere near the bloody pitch. As soon as you go near the grass, someone's going, whoa.
Yeah, I was lucky when I went on the second time I went. It was the end of the season when the lads could play football and that, so we went on with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
and that was
right.
good. But I was lucky. But I get what you're saying though. Even the Bain, she was only one, and she just went on the pitch, and the guy went, "Oh, you get her off your hand." So I know what you're saying. Like,
So
and
someone-
I get that, but just give them a warning though. Just say,
It's a
like,
joke, right? You can't walk on the pitch. Yet you have 22 gadgets running around it
Twatting each other on the pitch, I know.
sliding on it and digging it up.
That Dutch seed.
Dear me, how
Perez lying down on it. It's happening constantly.
But this isn't going to end well, is it? Between
Doesn't sound like it's going out.
between War Flags and
Well, if you
the
remember
club
back,
right now.
we talked about this a long time back when they just started out with the flags, and we talked about what happens if something anti-Ashley happens with the flags, and it was like, as we said, well, it would be a big, it would have to be a big thing for them to do an anti-Ashley display.
Yeah.
And I guess you could look at it and say it wasn't Ashley, based. What they were saying, they were celebrating. But it was a thinly veiled attack.
It was a
kind of
clever little
thing.
dig, wasn't it?
It was a politically better than what it.
It
could have been like
much better.
Well, it could have. Oh, Ashley, you fat twat.
We said that, if there's one or two people in there and then that start to do it and then other people around get that more momentum, but I think it was still a classy display. It wasn't, just a great big sign saying "fuck off, Mike, you fat cunt," which is what I'd love to do.
You know how last week we said we're going to stop swearing much. Let's not swear.
It's because we're talking about Ashley. It's always happens.
I think. I mean, it's
There
a
are
funny one,
crossroads,
isn't
aren't
it?
there?
A little bit, because they tweet, you see, them now when them put that on there, that it's just going to get. It wasn't it? It was a bit misleading, and I jumped on it, which I tried never to do, and I did. Don't know if it was because I was on a drink, but I did. I jumped on it, and I was like,
I think a lot of people did.
You know what I mean? And looking at it now, it was a bit silly, really, you're doing that, but.
Well,
it's a shame though, innit? It's a shame because I loved it, me.
not if it is true.
But
we're still at the point now
it
where
doesn't really seem like it is in a way though.
a lot of people associated with
What
Warhammer.
makes you think that? Because Lee Marshall, the man that can be very trusted, can come out and say that.
But so has anyone them come out and says it was Ashley? Has anyone said it's Ashley?
No, but I think like
Or them not
War Flags and Warhammer they haven't done anything from the official account that I know, but I know people that are associated with them, which are coming out and saying that's not why.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's different.
Yep.
Then. Obviously, I'm only seeing what I'm seeing.
So they're just arguing with each other at the minute behind the scenes, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because I was understanding that they got an email on the Saturday saying you just can't come in and sort it all out.
But still late by then, isn't it?
It was 4 o'clock on a Saturday when we got this email. Of course we're not going to do one on 4 o'clock.
Exactly.
On a Saturday. So, you don't know who to believe. It's going back and forward.
So was it Lee Marshall then that said that
Lee Marshall is the one
club had said that they would help them set up or something? Or
Lee Marshall's always... He was the guy for all of the flags that go to. He was the one that got them into the club.
Right.
So he's done a lot of work, to be fair enough, for everything that's gone on. So and now it's at the point
because he's
where
a fans liaison officer or something like that.
We used to be fans liaison officer. I'm not sure he is now, but he's obviously gone above that now. So obviously from day one he's helped with the flags and Wokiem and all that. So now it seems like there's been a fallout between them, and God knows where this is going to end. Like,
but I knew, even though I know it was better than what it could have been in terms of politically being right, I knew there was going to be issues after that one. Like, I just knew there would be, because he ain't going to like that. And apparently, the rumours were almost immediately, wasn't it, after the game, like, or the next day certainly. Oh, Ashley doesn't like it. There was even reporters saying that he's caught wind of it. And
yeah, but you can also look from the outside and think that's an easy story for a journalist.
Well, even if you think back to the...
Like, if you're a journalist and you see that, you might think, oh, I'll get numbers on this because Newcastle fans will click on this thing and, oh, Ashley doesn't like this. Of course I'm going to read it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It can be manipulated so much.
Back to the, but just think back to the Spanish quote. That was done, weeks ago then as well.
Mm.
And now it happened off that one.
Yeah,
But that again, that was...
Very clever.
People talked about that being a thinly veiled threat.
It was. Yeah, it really was.
Anyway, forget about that.
Yeah.
Manchester United came to St James's Park. Well, they came there, but they didn't really turn up, did they?
Well, I think
they were there in body.
No, I disagree slightly, because I think they had loads of chances. So that it wasn't the case of, I hate that term when if an underdog wins, it's because them didn't show up. It always seems to be.
Show up?
No, I think we deserve the credit. We won that game in the sense of that it was because of what we did. I wouldn't say it was because they didn't play well or they didn't show up. Honestly, I don't. I really don't.
No, we did play very well, fought for everything, but you can't say Man United were at the best.
Did Pogba show up?
I think
Sanchez?
Pogba was horrendous. Sanchez, I thought, was all right.
Sanchez was high down on the left wing. He was
terrible.
It was terrible. I think another day.
They were overrun in midfield, centre of midfield.
Because
I think that's where we won that battle.
Well, did Diarmi and Shelby?
Diarmi and Shelby were unreal.
We'll put out there now, Diarmi and Shelby were absolutely sensational. Like, unbelievable. Like, every single ball that was coming their way, they were winning.
However hard Lascelles hit Diarmi on the training ground, like, well,
whatever
you've done Vieira now, like, whatever you've done, like, what's happened? Like, what a player.
I'd just like to say, I've always been there. I've always had Mo's back.
And I just,
that there was a player in there.
I'll put it out there now. I don't want. A lot of people have opinions on certain players in that game, say they didn't perform well compared to the rest of them. But tonight, I don't think this is the place for it. Like, from that result,
I'll get there if you want to.
From that result, I think it'd be very harsh to pinpoint a player and say that
it wouldn't.
It would.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't.
It would. Okay. Let's not. He's just going to bully Perez. He's going to bully Perez. That's all he does.
I thought he played poor, but God, his work rate was immense. Like, I thought his work rate was immense, and I also thought I heard some people behind.
Take him out of the equation, then it could have been different. That's what I mean. Maybe you think he didn't have a good game, like off, like when he's got the ball, but off the ball, he brought something to that team that someone else couldn't.
I was frustrated with him. I'm not going to lie. There was lots. Oh God, like, but I watched the game again this morning before me test today, and I honestly like. I watched. It was the first time I've seen it again, if you know what I mean. And it's funny, isn't it, when you watch it again, you're like, every moment that's happening. It's weird, isn't it, when you're watching it. And like, actually, Perez did a lot more watching it again than he did when I was watching it live. Personally, when I watched it,
he had a better second half.
Well, maybe.
We'll leave it at that, right?
But going back to if you think we started that game so well, we really did, and I knew there's going to be a time where they're really going to command the ball in that, but God, we're starting a house on fire.
Yeah, my worry was the longer that half went on, the amount of pressure we were having, chances we were creating. but we were really hammering them. And it
We
was
didn't
just
really
one of those.
test the keeper. De Gea made a great save off Shelby very early on.
It was just,
but there was pressure. There was kind of attempts.
Intensity as well. Was well.
Should have had a penalty, no doubt about it. Should have had a penalty.
I'm not convinced. Like
really?
Yeah. A foul, definitely a foul.
You don't think that was a penalty?
No. You seen it back? Like
Yeah.
What? It's a foul.
It was a foul, but
do you think it was outside the box?
I think it was literally right on the corner of the box.
For me,
I mean, I was more or less in line with him even at the time. It's a foul, but not a penalty.
I was
even
more
seeing
under
it
the
back.
impression of it's Gale. And we've seen the last few games.
That's why he didn't get it. That's why he didn't get it, because he'd go down straight away. He always does. He always goes straight down. So
you might hear some beeping noises, right? But like at the start of this podcast, Adam was bragging how good these batteries were. Oh, we've still got full battery for the camera.
God, that's 4G cells
gone. We're 10 minutes in.
The batteries have run out.
The batteries have run out. He's got them special batteries that you put your fingers on and it tells you how fully charged they are.
Them were from the 90s, them man.
Ballsed up, yeah, ain't it, young'un?
Yeah, me. Huh?
Again, and I've said this many times about Diarmi, he wins the ball in their half of the field, which it just seems to set the tone, doesn't it? Like, is the team, when he's pressing early,
it does when
just sets the tone. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and I think that helped as well, because Shelby wasn't as deep as he normally is. He was a lot further up the pitch as well.
You know how much I love Shelby, and that was his best game ever.
And you know how much he does my head in. He was brilliant.
He surpassed that. The West Ham game, his debut was good, but that was next level. That was amazing. Like, he was running the midfield. Again, I watched it back today, and like, he's tackling, he's working.
You saw the compilation that someone's put together.
I did.
Unbelievable.
I didn't even know Shelby could tackle like that.
There wasn't really one tackle where you thought, oh,
nah. He just timed everything. Like, even when he was flying into some sliding and stuff like that, it was like, is he going to get there? But he was like well ahead of it. It was just clearances and stuff like that. He was just. I got one in the pint.
Do you want a Coke?
I only 180, so it's good.
Get him.
But what a game! What a performance! What a game!
Unbelievable. Honestly, there was. For me, like, I thought, and I know you can go around the whole team, right? And I'll get to the guy we've got in the frame in a minute, who was just immense, like immense.
Is that the one that he didn't want in the team?
That foreigner.
No, but that you say that as if that meant that awfully. Like, I didn't. I was just worried that bringing someone in out, like, who hasn't played. I think he was even a sub for his other team, who's never experienced Premier League football. I honestly worried against Man United. I thought,
did you just say United again?
Close, I was close
again, didn't you?
Hey, I was close there. Like,
no, I mean, we did comment it was a big game to be
be
dropped into and put in, but fuck me, boy, did he shine!
Oh my God, he was unbelievable, like unbelievable.
I mean, I think the first time he was called in action really was when Martial went through 1-on-1.
If you're talking actual saving the ball, yes, but so many times before that, man. There was one where we got the ball and he bowled it to Shelby. Like, bear in mind, there was still loads of Man United players around. He seen Shelby. Oh, you're alright. Yeah. Then he gave it to Perez. Then we had a move starting. Whereas Darlow would have never had the confidence to do that.
And the likes when crosses and corners were coming, he was so confident and just coming out winning that ball.
Unreal, man. And I know everyone.
He didn't flap once, did he?
Of course, the saves are crikey. The one he did at the end of the game, I think, was
Reggie done this.
Well, it was a double save.
No, that was when it just rolled through with him. But it was the one where
it was two saves.
Someone crossed it in.
Carrick. It was Carrick shot.
The one down and he got a hand of it. That was at the 94th minute or something. And I know everyone's going to look.
You know what it is? They are the goals that normally go in against us as well.
Absolutely,
we've battered them, ran the game, and fucking pot shot like that just takes a point.
Well, you look at Sanchez's chance where he goes round him
and he looks up.
For some reason he stops, stumbles, and then Lejeune does unreal to get back. So in fairness, as much as we played very well and stuff, imagine you go back to the Burnley game. Danny had one shot, I think, that went in off someone's head. It went off Darlow's head. You look at that game and you've got like open goals which they're hesitating and someone blocks on the line. Martial had 2 blocks off the line by Gale. We're riding my luck a little bit, and I don't want to be harsh.
Well, that's where we've talked about. Like, sometimes we just need a little bit of luck, and we haven't had it. I
totally agree. And Mourinho said it at the end that we fought like animals, but in a good way. And that sometimes
he was very complimentary.
He was, and sometimes you deserve luck, and if we deserved that luck there, like we really did.
Deka also last week, he's thinking, Mourinho was never won at St James's Park, not having none of that shit.
Oh, yeah, I hate them.
I still think that. I still don't believe them things.
Still hasn't won there, has he, in the league?
I just don't care. I just don't think that.
Has he won there?
Maybe not, but
has Mourinho
has he
ever
won the cup? Like,
Yeah, he's won the cup twice.
So what difference is that?
League makes loads of difference.
It's ridiculous, man, to say things like
Yeah, man,
that.
we hadn't won it.
Messi's never won at St James's. That's ridiculous, man. It's just absolute shite, like.
Aye, but the difference is he's played there.
But people say that he's scared at the St James's Park. He's won there twice.
Well, it's
interesting
that I read a bit a news story about. I can't remember who put it out. It might have been maybe Lee Ryder actually. That Mourinho, he was up in the press box, and when the Man United team arrived, Mourinho came out of the dugout, out the tunnel, out onto the pitch before the ground, and just came out into the middle of the stadium and just kind of looked around and had just seemed to be having a moment, like in the.
Look up to the heavens,
Well, he's got links on it, just through Bobby Robson and that.
Well,
it was all his quotes and stuff.
Yeah, he was
before
very
the game was
before
about Bobby Robson and his home and stuff like that. And even after the game, he said the same.
Truly, honestly, if we were successful, not now, I don't mean in the future. I mean, let's just say City. If we had been City, so if he had them had bought us, I honestly think he would manage us.
He's definitely got a soft spot, hasn't he?
100% would. He's very complimentary. And he said before the game when they get relegated, he was like, in my opinion, absolutely not due to the passion of the fans, the army of fans, things like that he was saying. You know, he's obviously got a lot of nice things to say about it, even though he's a bit of a prick.
Suppose he loves the tune.
Maybe we should be looking at like Man U squad for loan deals then.
Well, maybe. I mean, obviously they've got enough players there. Like. When you look at their team though,
100%.
I kept looking at it going, my God, man, what a team!
It was the bench as well for me.
It's just so strong in all areas. But actually, I say all areas. Sorry, defence is pretty dreadful as we've seen. I mean, look at Smalling's dive.
Well, look at the save that De Gea made on Shelby's shot.
Early on,
oh man,
best keeper in
like
the world.
when he hit that ball, I thought that was hitting the back of the net. I was like mid celebration when he hit that.
Yeah. And that's how he kept that out.
One hand, you know. He saves that with one hand.
How far it went away as well? It was like as if he had like some sort of gun or something on his glove. It just like shot away. Like I was unreal.
One of our keepers, apart from
we're mate
with the crown.
Dubravka.
We're going to break the wrist if that hits a hand. The hand's just going to shatter.
Packet hands.
Hologram hands.
Going back, sorry, what I meant to say because we got sidetracked by Dubravka, but I know you could point at every player and say they were amazing, Shelby, Diarmi, etc. I really thought, other than Yedlin, I thought the keeper, Lascelles, Lejeune and Dummett were unreal. Absolutely unreal. Dummett was amazing.
Did you see Dummett getting forward?
A few times he did, didn't he?
He did.
What the hell?
I know. Everyone just like
what's going on?
Just took that next level. Like Lejeune, like we've were a big fan when he first started playing for, but then we thought he's cost a few goals like when he was playing. But another one like
he did get a little bit bullied by Lukaku, I thought.
Do you think?
It's like Saul Campbell up front. Who's going to...
That's just because of the sheer like sizing, though, isn't it?
There was a couple of times where he was just out-muscled and out-fought for the ball, but that's
fair enough, isn't it?
That's being, harsh and critical. Because I did think he had a good game.
I think his performance has probably gone a little bit unnoticed compared to the rest of them, but he had a blind over game, him and Lascelles.
I thought Lascelles was immense again. Like.
And Dummett as well, like you just said, Dummett. Like,
unreal, man.
I've never been Dummett's biggest fan, but the last couple of games, he's defensively sound.
I said last week that, and I know you, because I listened to the back and you were saying that should be looking for like that complete sort of left back in terms of bottom forward and all the rest of it. And for me, someone put that tweet on, didn't I? I think I retweeted it about like 9 games without him where I conceded 20 goals, won 1, lost 9 or something like 8. And then with him over the last 9 games, we've only conceded like 8 goals in 9 games. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Mike Williamson. Remember the season when Mike Williamson was missing, and we kept on losing games, and when he came back in the team, we kept on winning them. I'm sure that was a random stat that was going around.
But he, like,
Mike.
Do you know what it is, right? Nelly.
I think for England.
Nearly every time we play against a team where you think like, right.
Put your phone on silence, please.
I think he had Martial when.
Was he yours? Was it?
When Martial first came to England, we played Man United. He had him in his pocket. Then we played like. I'm trying to think back a little bit, but if you think like knockout, I have to be careful. Sort him out. Ince is going to be a problem. Sort him out. Then there's other players that we played against. Zaha. There was more than that, especially at home.
That French Bournemouth kid.
We played someone, I think it was Everton, and they had, this is a few years ago.
Oh God. That's French Bournemouth. It's Brighton, man.
Brighton, aye.
That French Brighton kid whose dad's dead. Is that how we're explaining knockout these days?
I can't think of his name.
Oh man.
But everybody would know who I meant.
Welcome to the Always Smiling Faces podcast.
It's my turn to offend everybody this week. It's normally Deka.
No, I didn't offend anybody. But better than knockout though. I didn't mean knock on Tom and Sam, probably bad examples, but I'm sure there was a time we played Everton and they had Lennon running on him one half and then they trot him with Delafeo. He just sorts them out. He just sorts them out.
Lennon's got a really big arse, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The goal. How well did Gale do for that goal?
How well did the all do? Who put the ball in?
Shelby, of course.
No, after Lejeune, was that who it was?
But Pogba was too busy doing his hair. That was the issue. Even Neville ripped him apart because he was marking Lejeune, and as soon as the ball was in the air, Pogba was
watching,
and Lejeune was up jumping.
Pogba's a tall fella, like, isn't he?
He I'm telling you,
Pogba was horrific.
How bad was he?
Absolutely horrific. I mean,
God,
we've talked about that he went off before the game during the warm up, and then there was a talk around was he actually fit? It didn't look like he was carrying a knock or struggling or anything like that.
He asked Mourinho, and Mourinho went, no.
He just didn't look at the races.
He's not arsed, that was the thing.
He didn't look.
Do you know how, like, the last couple of games we said Gale hasn't looked arsed? That's what Pogba was like. He just didn't want to be there.
Even the first 5-10 minutes was, I thought, in terms of the entire game, was our best spell. That first 15 minutes, we were really at them.
We really just got straight, hit the ground running, didn't we?
He was just like kicking the ball out of play and stuff. Like not because they were under pressure. I mean, literally, he had the ball and he was just looking around.
There was, I mean, especially the back four trying to pick passes, and they were just knocking it behind each other, putting it out into touch, and they just looked.
For a £90 million man, he has to be doing better than that.
Well, I mean, if you remember when we played them down there, he absolutely tore us apart.
But we had Hayden on, and I know I'm not banging the drum here about Hayden. I'm sorry, he's not the man. He's not.
No, he met the person that bangs the drum.
Oh, sure you did, yes. And I know.
Give him some feedback.
Hayden.
Did you?
About his rhythm.
When he was talking to me, I was like, we done a podcast about your drum. Mark said your rhythm was shit.
Did he not say that? He's just been telling us.
Poor kid.
I mean, I know these players like Pogba and that, the Champions League, they play like 60 games a season or whatever it is. I appreciate there's going to be a selection of games and they're not going to play great. That's obvious. You can't play well every week unless you're Messi or something. But even if Shelby has a shocker, when Shelby's not playing well, he'll still have the odd pass or the odd something that you think, Pogba on that game, for me, doing nothing at any point in the game. And he got hauled off immediately after they scored because I don't know if Mourinho seen that it was him that let Lejeune win the head at the now, but
I was listening to Talk Sport and there was actually a Man United fan trying to defend him, saying he's worth his money, but you can't play him in games like Newcastle United when they're fighting for their life. I thought, he's a £90 million player. You play him in every single game. You can't
people
avoid
were trying to
games.
defend him. Weren't they saying he was playing out of position? He shouldn't be playing there, and
it's scandalous. I'm sorry. What I will say about him, he's not the player that he was at Juventus in terms of I think he should be playing further forward. I'll be honest.
Well, that's what I
do think. But I didn't care if he's playing left wing or right wing. If you got £90 million, I know it's stupid to keep mentioning the figure, but you would expect him to show.
You need to get your head in the game.
That quality a bit.
Yeah.
And for me, he didn't even look lost. No. Even when you see the pictures of him sitting on the bench afterwards, he's got this like smug kind of.
I think he looked a bit sick of his life when he was there.
Honestly, I thought he was sitting there going like, "I don't know, monkeys me. I've got red hair and that." I'm mint. Like honestly, that's honestly what I felt. And I just thought, I don't know if it couldn't even be good for the atmosphere of the dressing room and things like that. Like people like that. But
it showed you how ineffective he was when he went off and Carrick and Mata came on, and both of them
Matta's a great player.
World class compared to him.
How can he?
I mean, Mata,
how can he not?
I'd love to have him in our team because he came. He's so calm and
it's effortless, isn't it?
He's not the quickest, but Jesus, his feet and his head are just so fast. It's unbelievable.
No, he's amazing. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yes,
I love him. Absolutely love him.
Did Mourinho get rid of him at Chelsea?
Yeah, he sold him at Chelsea.
Sure.
Then he ended up at Man U and he was there.
Yep.
And everyone thought he'd be gone, but he worked his way into.
He's a great player, absolutely fantastic player.
But even, Carrick as well. It's his last season there, and you can see he hasn't got the legs for it anymore. But he's still a bloody good. He came on and he still looked good.
In a team
and that
like
was only 20 minutes, but
in a team like that, he will, especially at that point in the game, because we're sitting back and he's the type that'll just pick you off. He may not have the legs to. He's not like box to box anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, Shelby on that game, he was everywhere, wasn't he? Like he wasn't just centre midfield all the time. He was like he tackled someone. He tackled
that's
Sanchez.
what really annoys us
back.
about Shelby, though, is that he's got it in him. He can do it. You just
didn't he's by the programme. I think he's doing. Do you? Obviously, you know.
No, the programme looked a bit like a advert for Sports Direct this week, didn't it?
Right, did he? Well, he's remember
an
Close
interview,
House?
didn't he, about Close House, wasn't it?
His interview was amazing.
I read it.
It was brilliant.
It got tweeted out by the club today.
Oh, did you read the whole lot?
Yeah.
It was a brilliant interview, and he was saying that he has a book which he writes down after training or after every match. He writes 3 things down that he did well and 3 things he did bad. That's what he's.
It's his psychologist.
I said like write them down and blah blah. And he says I really feel that I'm like sort of getting there now in terms of like when I write them down and I read like what I've done blah blah. But he also said things like he doesn't really care what the fans think, which I thought was fine. Like he said, like I got sent off against Tottenham, and I knew the fans would be going berserk, but I felt I'd let the team down.
Yeah.
And he says the first thing he did was he messaged the team chat and says that I'm really sorry, I will do something to repay you and stuff like that. So it was a really honest interview. It was proper honest.
During that performance, was it? Is that how he's repaid? Because that was unbelievable. That
it was. It frustrates me though when you know he's that good and you're only getting one game in how many has he played? 50 maybe. I don't know. That annoys us a little bit.
Was Yedlin's 50th game?
Was it?
Was it?
God,
yeah.
Bloody hell. He doesn't seem like he's been here 5 minutes.
That's a good stat. You didn't know that, did you?
Yeah.
But I think I'm not saying that he can play like every week. I don't think he probably could. But having someone like Diarmi next to him, I think's what Shelby needs. I think, like personally, having that real physical character next to him in midfield rather than a Hayden or. Well, I'm not saying Marino either, but I just think with Diarmi there, he does so much work that sometimes goes unnoticed of the pressing, and maybe Shelby reacts to that as well. I think the whole team reacted when Diarmi just starts hitting everyone that's inside.
He was great.
It was like watching Tiote and Kabay.
Aye.
I'm telling you, Diarmi.
Because for the amount of tackles Shelby done, he was still pinging the balls around.
Oh, he was.
Still pinging them around.
The one when you see that, see the ball he played for Richie when he was offside. He played what a pass, man, to see that, because I've seen it, but I'm up at height, so it's easy for me to see it.
Us
of course,
watch,
he's bought at grass level, like, and he found it. They're good, them two together, aren't they? I think them are quite.
They've worked really well. They have, and they're
good.
Both players were under a lot of stick from, I would say, every single fan. Because
Hey,
Diarmi was poor at times. He was.
Every.
I know, but Diarmi was poor, and Shelby was going through a patch where he was absolutely lifting. But the last few games, they've clicked and something's happened there. And I know, come the next game, that everyone's giving them praise. It's probably going to be horrendous in that, like. But
even Richie's
they've set a level now, haven't they?
well, that's what I was going to say about, because he said that people getting stick in that. I mean, no one was getting more than Matt Ritchie. Now, in fairness, and I'm going to be honest, if you took his goal away, he didn't create anything, nothing. But his work rate was unreal, man. Like, he just grafted his arse off.
Yeah.
But the goal, obviously, to be in that position, it was a great finish, I thought. I mean, a lot of people probably think he's 7 yards out.
Well, to be honest,
it was a great finish.
I thought he was very clever with his finish as well, because he went
to the keeper.
To the keeper's, well, to his right, keeper's left, when the other side was gaping open.
Yeah. Well, De Gea looked like he was shifting that side when the ball came across.
Looking at that goal, you would think he's only going to go one way here. Which I think he was obviously thinking, well, the keeper's going to I'm going that way, I'm going to go the other.
It was one of them where I think...
De Gea still got back across for it. Again.
I think what helped the whole, for Richie anyway, I think, was he had no time to think about it. He just had to hit it first time.
Yeah.
It's one of them, if he's running towards goal with that ball...
But he just passed it into the back of the net as well, didn't he? Rather than, trying to belt it or anything like that.
Wasn't it?
Oh, it was
just cool.
The roof came off, didn't it?
I thought it was Kennedy, to be fair, because it was the other side where I am. I thought it was Kennedy that had put it in, because Kenny was just standing behind. That's who I thought it was. Obviously, until you see afterwards the players separate from each other.
It was mad. I mean, literally, it was
the noise.
Limbs
the atmosphere. The atmosphere was unbelievable.
Jumping up, grabbed the bloke next to us, like that. Somebody came out with the top of his. I was like,
I thought it was immense for the entire game, to be perfectly honest.
It was. That's what I mean. From start to finish, it was a great atmosphere. We'll be missing that.
Things like the tackles going in. There was some dodgy decisions by the referee, which
the
always helped.
The linesman was the first one to start.
So it always gets.
It riled up, didn't it?
Well, towards the end, man, it was again. I watched on the telly and I was laughing my head off because every time we cleared the ball, we cheered like it was a goal. The cells would head it, bam, keeper comes out, punches it, rah. It was just mint. And I remember he done that save off Martial, which was I did expect him to score.
I still cannot believe.
Oh, when he's running through a goal, I thought
it's a goal.
Yeah, it's a goal.
Who played that passing? Was it man? What a ball, man! To get him in, and then he obviously saved it. We're all up behind.
He had too much time,
and then. The corner came
The thing
in.
is the keeper didn't commit himself. He didn't go down. He stood and he stood and he stood.
It was a shit finish, like I thought, but still a great save. But the corner came in, and what did he do? Comes out like an absolute beast and just catches it. The whole ground stood up, man. The whole ground were like, "You're the man." Like, sign him up. Like, you're the best.
Well, the second half, Shelby tackled. I think it might have been Lukaku out on the left wing. I think it was.
And he just hoofed it out of play.
He just tackled him, and I celebrated that tackle more than what I celebrated the goal. I was the only one around me. I was like, yes, standing up like.
Was that on your side?
Yeah, right by me.
Because he did one on Sanchez on my side, which was very similar. He slid with he should really go with his left, but he went with his right. And he slid it, and everyone was up, you know. And then I think 2 minutes later, he did another one, and he was firing the fans.
Because you're thinking, keep playing like this, and we're gonna win. Keep getting the ball out rather than dicking a boot with it. Keep putting that much effort into your tackles.
I thought for the first time in a long time, where we've obviously been, you know, you're coming under a lot of pressure, which you're bound to. We didn't just lump it forward. We actually played it out a little bit, and we hit them on the counter loads of times. We didn't make anything of that, but Kennedy a few times was sloppy, but he was shattered. You know, he had run himself into the ground. Rafa got every ounce that he had left in him before he brought Matsu on it, because Kennedy was done. Like,
it was just a fantastic game to watch and be there.
Absolutely unreal.
It was one of them.
They come around like once every 5 years maybe or whatever, and it's just immense. Like, and I thought, and I think I tweeted this when I was coming home, and I was thinking about the atmosphere. I mean, I had no voice at all. I was on the drink on the night, and I thought, imagine if we were successful. Like, imagine if we
Imagine
were,
the party.
God, man, we're just like.
Imagine if we won something.
Do you know what I mean? The other side of that coin is sometimes you get used to winning, and sometimes the expectancy comes, which then is a negative.
You take it away.
You turn into a Man United fan. You turn into a Man United fan.
Aye, prime example. I mean, Mourinho was slagging them off, saying, "Where's the noise?"
On that fan cam afterwards, hilarious.
Man City were beating Leicester 4-1 or whatever it was. Aguero scoring from anywhere, and there's like a bit of a titter. Like, do you know, we're winning a game. We're celebrating a clearance more than they're celebrating Aguero hitting the ball from 104 yards out. Like, what's going on? Like, do you know what I mean? And that's why I think if we had that bit of success, the town would just never stop. Like, it would just be, you know what I mean? It'd be unreal. Like,
well, that would beat Man U when everyone stays out on the drink.
Aye. Well,
stayed out.
not everyone.
Well, not everyone. Everyone started separating, but there's still a few standing towards the end. And like even yesterday, when you rang me yesterday, Deka rang us yesterday about dinner time, and like we're talking about the game, we're still buzzing off with tits, weren't we? Like proper buzzing off the town.
I couldn't stop smiling, man. I couldn't all day. When I went into work.
Look at me when I went in the Apple shop.
Oh, aye. He went to the Apple shop and dicked with the fucking system and that.
You know, the new home pods.
Oh, yeah.
So I went into the Apple shop on my dinner from work, and I was still like, had me chuff on. So I went, Siri, what was the Newcastle Man United score? And it went, Newcastle beat Man United 1-0 yesterday with a goal from Matt Ritchie. And I was like, class. I went, Siri, play La Bamba. Just not playing. And I just walked away smiling. And like, but I swear, because there'd already been music on just before playing that. It was playing, what's it called? Wuthering Heights. It was playing that, so it was, so it sounded quite quiet. I said, play La Bamba. Swear to God. I thought the windows were going to smash and the roof would come off because it just started blaring out. Like literally the whole shop just stopped.
Everyone just
turned away. I just walked away.
Rafa was in the corner. Get us a little upgrade.
This bloke, I walked walking away around the other side. This bloke went, "Min choice the song."
I love it. Like
that was great.
Everyone was.
I was buzzing off it.
Everyone at work was. I went in. I couldn't stop smiling all day, man. Couldn't stop, and I didn't have it because we haven't won. How many home games? 8 games in a row. Whatever it's been.
For me, it wasn't the winning. It was the nature of the win. So the way that we literally gave everything. We're throwing bodies on the line, chucking themselves in front of the ball, giving everything. Like you're saying, they were celebrating every single clearance, high-fiving each other, patting each other on the back, and it was just a proper team performance.
And the keeper again. Did you see how loud he was? That keeper shouting. There was Matt got a free kick at one stage, and obviously it was dangerous. So the crowd were like, "Oh shit!" You know, and it goes. There's like a murmur. All I could hear was him just going ballistic with the ball.
Even when we were attacking, he was talking to the back four.
He was constantly talking. I was like, "You've only been here a day and a half," and he's like literally just bossing people around the pitch.
That's what kind of the said about him coming over, is that he's a good organiser. He's defence, because we said, you know, is he going to be able to speak the language and stuff like that? And then he's done a couple of interviews. He speaks better English than us. You
might not remember, but it was his second touch of the ball. Someone blasted the ball on, and it was prime example where Darlow would have just run out and kicked it away. he took it down. Like there was someone coming running towards him as well, and he controlled it and then passed it to Lejeune. And I went,
He did a few.
Did
Did you see the one where he got?
He might get caught once in a while, mind you, but you've got to remember just how good he was the day. I guess. Sorry.
Well, it was when he was the first half because we were in the Gallagher, and it was about the third time it got done.
He's that good. He was in the Gallagher.
We knocked the ball back to his right, and he started almost dribbling it along his line. I'm like, for fuck's sake, you can't do that, man. Somebody was coming like tearing us towards him. I'm like, get rid of it. But he was just fucking cool as fuck.
He was very calm, wasn't he? He was. It was one of them. It was just like, as I say, you didn't have them very often, but everything seemed to go right. Everything was flicked.
What a debut, though! Like you see debuts from like, what was the last debut where you thought? Probably Cisse, where he came on as a sub.
Oh, it was amazing. He scored
against Villa with a half volley.
Remy. He had a very
Cisse
good
was
debut.
minion. I used to love Cisse.
Cisse was great.
Shelby, he had a good debut.
He did. He really did.
But like for a keeper to have a great debut, that's.
I don't think there's many men I've ever seen as a debut as a keeper.
Oh, shit! Tim Krul had a great debut
against
yeah.
And that's the thing. You've got to just let's not get too carried away. You know, he's played one game. Yes, it was a very good performance, but we just
let's just give him back now and just
just keep that memory.
Just have that. We'll store that memory.
But yeah,
well, it's a £4 million, isn't it? Or euros?
Yeah, up to 5 or something.
So see how he goes, and he's been saying that he wants to stay already, and he's like saying, no, like before the Man United game, he's like, I'm here to prove that I should be here, like to stay.
It's Premier League.
Well, started well,
everyone aspires to get to the Premier League, don't they?
You think like
he's got half a dozen games, something like that.
He's going to start every game now, unless something happens to him, gets hit or something.
You would have thought so.
Or sent off or whatever. But if you look at the players we've brought in, so you've got Kennedy, who made a massive impact against Burnley on his debut.
We've got a question about this.
Oh, right.
He did. He played well again.
No, he did. And he played well against Palace. Blah blah blah. Then you've brought in another new player, and he's been. We won the game because of him. I personally.
Yeah.
So, and you think if Slimani can equal what them have done when them have started, you know what I mean? You just
there was at least 4 goal-saving saves.
Yeah.
100% agree. 100%
Match-winning saves.
Yeah. Because that's why. Well, I mean, perhaps if you had Darlow and you've lost that game 3-1. Possibly.
Well, that one where it was still 0-0 and broke Martial, and he stood and saved it. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, as he was running through, I'm thinking 1-0. Yeah.
Everyone did. I think everyone did.
Right. The full-time whistle goes, and there's 3 things that I noticed, which I was pretty chuffed about. Right.
Oh, the best one.
Probably noticed 2 of them that I can think
of.
If it's the same thing. So the pitch invader. Absolutely hilarious.
Well, I'm watching him going, what's he doing? Like,
he's about 50.
Yes, we've won a game, but how? A pitch invasion, really, son? But
so
then
what happened?
For me,
he saw Lascelles and I can't remember who he was with.
Lejeune
is that who it was? They were hugging each other, weren't they?
Right,
and this fella just jumps over from the east stand. He starts running Lejeune.
It was the most comical of runs that he was doing, and he was dressed like
he's proper dressed again, wasn't he?
1920s tinker. He thought he was like out of Peaky Blinders or something.
Sweet money. But he runs out at them, gets involved in the hug. Lascelles sees him from a few steps away. He says, get in. Hugging him.
That was Lascelles' reaction for me.
Next
was
Lascelles,
the best thing.
Oh shit, he's getting banned. So he just takes him.
He walked him back over.
The rest of the players are celebrating.
Put his arm round him, talking to him as he's going off. And
get out of the picture. Stuart starts coming away.
Whoa. I think he was giving him a piece of his mind, saying, all right, you've had your celebration, but you really shouldn't have been doing this thing.
He's probably got a knock on the door now, saying he's not allowed back in.
For me, thinking you've got a young kid as captain, right? He's only a young lad, Lascelles, right? He's just won probably the biggest win of his career, possibly.
Yeah.
And to have the common sense or I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Well, intelligence.
Maturity to not get involved in the celebration, and think, right, let's protect him and get him off, and that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
He's very aware.
I would have went, do what you want, I'm celebrating. Do you know what I mean? Like it's amazing, man.
What's your second thing that you noticed?
Rafa on the pitch. Immense.
What was Rafa? What did he do? What was the first thing he did?
Rafa came on. He was shaking everybody's hands, saying well done to them and stuff like that.
And then,
that was it. Everybody started singing to him as he came on the pitch, and it was with, I think it was Shelby, Lascelles,
Yedlin, I think.
Yedlin and Dummett, was it?
Dummett.
Walking them up, and they were singing Rafa, and he was like, no, and he was pointing at them for.
Well, the thing I noticed when Rafa came on the pitch, he went over to Paul Dummett and started telling Paul Dummett what he done wrong just before full-time whistle.
No, I didn't see
He
that.
starts telling him about a pass that he done and it went away.
But, I mean, we've said this a lot. He's always very, very aware of learning. And obviously when we went to see him in the week, he spoke about that quite
Well, he said that's the only chance he gets to see the players, because obviously the day after they're on holiday.
Well, especially
they get day off
especially after that, because we haven't got a game at the weekend either. So he's not going to see them for most of this week.
Yeah.
So that was his opportunity there to make sure that he knows that he did something wrong and how to learn from it.
I'd love to know what pass it was, because I think I know which one it was. I can't
remember. I just know he went over and he started telling them. He started pointing towards the direction and that.
If it was the one I thought, Joselu got the ball and for some reason wouldn't turn the right way. So he held it up well and then he wouldn't turn, and he had all the time in the world. He gave it back to Dummett, and Dummett went, no, you have it and turn.
Give it back to him.
And then he gave it back to him again, and he had two players on him, and he passed it and he lost it. And I was like, what are you doing? Not to Dummett, it was Joselu. Might not have been that rough or something. Yeah. But you know, when he's on the pitch, Rafa, it's something special, isn't it? Because he very rarely comes on.
He comes on, he shakes hands, and then that's it.
Do you think he would have done it?
What?
He would have done the
glasses
job done, inside pocket. Yeah. I love that Rafa. That's my favourite Rafa, because we've won the game when that happens.
Mourinho, it was like, even he was smiling when he shook his hand in that.
Well, he went up to him and you could see he was saying, you really deserved that kind of thing.
The third thing I noticed was the noise.
It was unreal.
Oh man, that full-time whistle went. Everyone was on their feet before the full-time whistle, and it was just.
It was because
I just wish I felt that
we'd been entertained. We had a performance we were proud of.
That's what it was. They all put a shift in.
They'd worked really, really hard. That's what we want to see every game, isn't it? Even if you don't. I mean, if they had scored at the end, it would have been fucking heartbreaking.
Because it would have. I might have actually cried.
Like we say, it would have felt like a defeat, and we've said that a few times because we've conceded quite a few late on in games where we've battered them and came away with either nothing or 1 point.
We managed this game better. I felt. I really did feel that way. As I said that a lot to my dad. We managed the game better towards the end. Joselu was taking some hits. He was going down for a while. Yeah. The Atsu one, that could have been a red card. I'm not saying
I couldn't believe that one. With the what's he called? The
Valencia.
The assistant manager or coach or something. I don't know if for Man United. Right. I don't know if you noticed it, but he was like, get up, cheap dive, and all of this before, and
was he?
Aye.
I just think we wasted time better in that game, and we tried our best to keep hold of the ball rather than just smashing it up front. Yeah. And we ran the clock down better, I thought, than normal games. Again,
that was for those that either haven't listened or to it is something that Rafa had talked about at the last week at the event that we went along to. He talked about them being more clever, more intelligent about
because we're young,
wasting time, using the time and stuff.
Did you see them how people on Twitter saying, what event I didn't know any of this was going on.
Special guest invitations.
He was absolutely brilliant. When he was unbelievable.
He was great.
He was class.
Absolutely, he was just talking and everyone just fell silent, didn't they? The best part of the night was when that man said he knocked one off in every room though.
Hey, it was hilarious, wasn't it? That was hilarious.
So if anyone that
he
wasn't
didn't say knocked one off. It was
knocked one out.
He said knocked one out wherever you were.
Right. Anyone that wasn't there, right? Dear me. It was a Times event, wasn't it? If their podcast that they did, the football podcast. And at the very start, before anyone came on stage, it was like a massive advert for the Times getting played, and it's basically Times journalists talking about their love for writing and stuff.
It was I can knock one out in any room, wasn't it? That was what it was.
They start talking about writing articles and their life and stuff like that, and this bloke comes on. And he just said, what was it that he said?
He went, the great thing is I can knock one out in any room.
And everyone,
obviously he was talking about
writing
he can knock out an article in any room. It's all kind
I
of
thought he says what it's about is you can just knock one out anyway.
It was something like that. It was about knocking something out.
I went.
Everyone just stopped, and Deka was the first one. Deka just went.
I did, and I knew because
that's because the rest of the audience were Times readers.
They were. Well, I read the Times, but you weren't there though. They were just that way inclined.
The four of us watching.
I just went 10 out. I was like,
that was it. Once the first laugh went up, everybody went, "What's he laughing at?" Oh, knock one out. Way!
The next segment was the last talk about big balls and balls and balls and that. We were like, what is going on here?
It was.
This is the best 15 quid I've ever spent, and Rafa isn't even here yet.
It was really funny, that, like.
Absolutely amazing.
But to get to meet him at the end was like unreal. Like, I never thought that would happen. Like, but that was class. Like, unreal. Got to bed and like a poster on the next of us and that. That was amazing.
I'm gonna get his photo in the frame and put it next to your bed.
100%. It was just brilliant. Like to do that, and we were having a pint, man, afterwards, weren't we? And I think he had left, and Rafa was still
outside
getting
photos.
He gave his money away to the food bank. His fee, sorry, for the appearance, and just he's just a special guy. And
he's lush.
He's good.
I'm in awe of him, like.
I think a lot of people are. There's no one answers a question better than him without giving you the answer.
He's class at dodging a question.
He's unreal. He's talked for 10 minutes and still hasn't answered it.
Even George Gorgon, like at one point he went, "That was a very good answer, but I didn't ask you that question."
That's right. Yeah. And he's amazing at it. Like he is. He's
It was a great event. Like you're like really good, wasn't it?
It was good insight into him.
Like people go to these talk-ins and they'll pay 70, 80, 90, 100 quid for these talk-ins. We paid 15 quid, and that was like, what, hour and a half?
About an hour and a half, yeah.
Hour and a half of Rafa just talking football, and it was unbelievable. And the audience was quite small as well, like compared to what you...
It's intimate, wasn't it?
Yeah. Intimate. And like when you go to these talk-ins, it's mainly about going to the pub and getting pissed, isn't it?
Well, that's what pisses me off about them, to be honest.
And there's people shouting out.
You'll always have a table of dickheads who have never had a drink before,
yeah.
And they're just gone mentally. I'm like, I'm not here to listen to you.
But we were with the Times readers.
And it was a lot better.
The dickheads were us.
We were the dickheads, just laughing at knocking out.
You knocking one out.
It was funny though.
It was great, Right, so
what a week.
The questions?
What a week.
It's been a midfield here. It's
been class week.
It's been good.
Right.
Next week's going to be horrible or something.
Well, I'm going again.
Oh, it's going to be
fine.
Jordy Ahmed sends in, Mark claims Ben Arthur had no end product. Or
correct.
Words of that effect.
Yep.
You just say you're correct there.
Correct, absolutely.
Right. Ben Arthur had a better goals and assist per minute ratio than Ginola and Robert. Does this prove that when it comes to Ben Arthur, Mark is either A, clueless, B, clueless, or C, clueless?
How many goals did Ginola score?
Who's this?
Jordy Ahmed.
Jordy Ahmed. Me and you got words.
Jordy, well done.
Well done, Jordy Ahmed.
Give over.
No, how many
I
goals?
cannot believe that.
Was it 4, something like that?
Ginola scored 4 goals. 4 goals, man. And every
remember that one against Ferencvaros, though?
I remember it.
Fucking hell.
Of course I remember it. I remember Ben Arthur from halfway.
He's doing a Rafa, he's dodging the question.
Where, Rafa? No, realistically, no, truthfully.
Ben Arthur only scored about 4 goals.
No,
he scored one. He scored one against
Bolton. Find out how many
one against Everton.
One against Blackburn.
Bolton and Blackburn. Bolton one in the Blackburn, one of the only good ones that he ever scored.
Away, he scored at Arsenal away.
Still such
he scored at Everton away on his debut.
His Everton goal was good. He was just...
He scored a worldie.
Are you more frustrated at Ben Arthur?
He was the most frustrating, even more so than bloody Sissoko.
More frustrating than Perez?
Aye, absolutely, because he had all the talent in the world, but he would disappear for 6 or 7 games at a time.
How many goals did Ben Arthur score? 13.
Aye, in 4. Aye, in 7 years.
He wasn't here 7 years.
Ginola scored 4, man.
And he had a broken leg for one of those seasons.
Ginola was only here 5 minutes.
Ginola.
I
love Ginola.
He couldn't have had more assists than Ginola, surely.
I reckon he has.
I mean, the amount of Ginola used to cross everything for bloody Ferdinand and Shearer. And
I disagree. I'm sorry, I disagree.
But let's remember, Ginola was in a lot better team than what Ben Arthur was.
He was
like superior.
Ben Arthur was brilliant. He was frustrating. I'm not going to
disagreeing. He was brilliant every 6 games.
I'm doing a blog
he
for...
He wasn't good enough. He wasn't consistent enough. He could only do it when he felt like it. Just look at him when he's left the club. What's he gone on to achieve? What did he achieve?
Money.
What's he done?
Money.
Couldn't get in the team.
Money.
Didn't play games. He only played half a dozen games when he went there.
Money.
Attitude, behaviour.
Money.
I think I agree because about his behaviour and his attitude. Yes, but I know you say that he only produced it once every 6 games.
Do you take offence that he calls him shit?
Aye, because it's ludicrous to say that.
That's not.
Come on.
He wasn't shit.
That's ludicrous.
I'd agree with you. He was wasted talent. But to say shit is...
It's just incorrect.
Yeah.
It's A, clueless, B, clueless, C, clueless.
It's my opinion.
I've been asked to do a blog column type thing for the Bournemouth match day program, right? And it's about a Newcastle cult hero, and I might just pick Pen off and pick you, fucking just piss you off.
But he's not. He
is a cult hero.
There's a group of people love him, and there's a group of people hate him because they see him for what he was.
Is he a cult hero?
To certain individuals.
Who's your favourite cult hero?
I don't know.
This question comes from Chris Wallace. Who is your favourite cult hero? Who is your? Just one?
Cult hero?
I still can't believe you think he's shite. I find that hard to believe, like. I think you're quite intelligent, Mark.
Because he just didn't do it often enough.
Aye, but when you say who did do it often enough? Ever? For us? Ever? And I mean that.
Plenty of people.
Who?
In that era?
Yeah.
Who?
That they were doing it consistently.
Who?
Well, who was getting in front of who was getting in the team in front of him every single week?
Who?
He wasn't getting into the team because he wasn't good enough.
I had 109 left back.
Marver.
That's why he probably put Dummett up there or something.
Gouffran was picked ahead
Fuck off! He wasn't consistent,
He
man.
was picked ahead of him every time.
No, he wasn't consistent, man. You don't have Gouffran in your team.
No, Gutierrez was more than likely playing on the left hand side, wasn't he?
Look, Deka's like face palming, you know.
You love Gutierrez.
No, he's not talking about Gutierrez. I can't talk about the Gouffran comment.
I can't continue.
Let's just start this podcast off.
To say though, so he didn't play, so his replacement obviously must be better, and it's Gouffran. Come on.
Gutierrez was always picked up.
I don't have a bite left before you start talking about Gouffran. I'm spitting it in your face.
And I'm going to be honest. I actually didn't dislike Gouffran. I know he hated him. I didn't dislike him.
I didn't dislike him.
How? Where?
No, I know.
Fucking hate him.
Bloody hell. I'd have Ben Offa playing.
All I was saying was Gouffran was picked ahead of him, so that has to tell you a story.
I was shite.
Yeah, that he was.
But if we were that shite, why was he consistently getting picked ahead of him?
Because
he's unprofessional.
The bottom line of the story.
Because he wouldn't go on the pitch and perform.
But
he wouldn't do his job.
But he wasn't shite.
It wasn't that. It was he didn't work hard for the team. He didn't track back enough. That's the reason he played Gouffran, because probably defensively we might be better. But I still think a player of that talent, you can have one man who doesn't. Do you know what I never track back? Like, you can have one player on your team, surely that can have that.
Ben Offa's the type of player.
Do you know what I did track back? But he would at least get you something. He'd beat a player. He'd put a cross into the box.
I think
he'd
Ben
pick
Offa
a pass.
I think Ben Offa beat men asleep, man.
Just you look back. People are totally look at Ben Offa based on them 4 goals that he scored.
Do you know what he scored for?
The Bolton goal, Everton goal.
Correction, 12.
West Brom away.
No, but you don't remember
West Brom away is another one.
People won't remember him scoring a bloody tap in against West Brom, will they?
Correction, this was for the listening audience. Ben Offa scored 12 goals.
Or 12.
Not 4.
12.
13, sorry. 13 goals.
Over how many seasons? Over 5 seasons.
He had a broken leg
so he
for 1
season.
season.
13 goals over 5 seasons.
Yeah, he played for 3 of them. He didn't play most of them, as you just said. He was on the bench all the time.
Oh, that's a good point.
He was on the bench all the time.
Aye, so when he came on for 10 minutes, and he scored at least 4 of them.
Shall we replace my Mirrorfinch flag with a Ben Offa?
No, if you don't want me to come along anymore.
No, I can give anyone
I used to sit and watch him get the ball, try to beat 10 players, and just run it out of play.
That was over that.
He beat 10 players though.
Well, probably.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
He would. But what do you get from it?
He beat 10 players.
He beat 4 players.
We've had the ball for 4 minutes. Probably.
What happened? He'd beat 4 players and it'd go straight out. He'd run it out for a goal kick.
You get another point.
What I would say though, and I'm going to honestly, I remember being at the games.
It's going to be here a while.
And he used to.
You asked the question.
That's what I mean.
He used to hold on, and I used to criticise him here. I used to criticise the fans more so actually. He would lose the ball sometimes in real dangerous areas, and no one would say anything. And that used to piss us off, because if it was Gutierrez or it was Mike Williamson that lost the ball in that area, my God, hang him.
If he wasn't playing,
that was wrong.
They'd be sitting there shouting his name to bring him on.
Yeah, there would be, aye.
Because he's going to single-handedly win the game.
Because he was a wizard.
Because he did that once or twice.
I still say...
More than anyone else.
Going back to what Chris said, in a sense, we had a poor team then, and I thought some teams would just double up on that side of the field and then you're in huge trouble because we had nothing on the other side of the field. For example, I still think he was, as a talent, honestly, I think he could have. Oh my God!
Do you see what you've
He's
done,
one-
Jody?
He
Ahmed?
could have. That is the point.
But he's not shy
He
though.
could have.
He's not shy.
He didn't. He didn't.
But-
He could have. He didn't.
Was he shite?
Yes.
We'll have to move on. We're not going to change his mind.
We'll have to do another podcast on just Tyler. Is Ben Harper shite?
Yes, he
He's
is.
not, man.
He's not.
He was.
Adam, what do you think?
Unbelievable.
Well, thanks for that input. Right. CMDR Demo sends in, what odds do you think I can get on Slimani not playing a single game for us?
Who?
Slimani.
Oh, don't go
I
down.
know his name. He's going to giggle again, isn't he?
No, 100%. He's
What is
playing.
it?
He'll be on next week, I think.
Slimani.
Slimani.
2 weeks time.
Yeah. Not Slimani. Not Slimani.
Slimani.
Not
Slimani.
Mustafa or whatever
Slimani.
you were calling him last week. No, he's I reckon he'll play next game.
Mind you, storage problems. 3 minutes.
Oh,
yes.
dodged that one, didn't we?
My God. That's just like.
Change your tune now, haven't you?
What did I say the first time?
Don't know.
You wanted to have him. He was going to be a world beater.
Oh, I wanted to have him.
I wouldn't have him. 100% I wouldn't have him. But, you know, you look at it and you think, God, well, I've dodged a bullet there. Like,
Again,
by the looks of it.
let's not get carried away.
Right,
He
our
hasn't played
mate-
the game yet.
Everyone sends in, serious question for once.
Is it why isn't Deka naked?
Out of our loan signings, this is a question I stopped you from answering before. Out of our loan signings, which one would you want to make permanent, and which one are you actually likely to be made permanent? I would say the keeper is probably the one where you'd expect the deal
keeper's
to get
the
done
most
because there's an
likely,
option to
isn't
buy
it?
there.
The keeper's happening. The keeper will
Yeah.
happen.
Based on what I've seen so far, I'd say Kennedy, but because Slimani hasn't played yet.
Yeah.
We're never getting Kennedy, like, never.
That's the one you'd want to sign based on.
He's been good, hasn't he? To come into the team and
Yeah, he's been good.
to perform.
But then if
as well as he
Slimani
has,
comes in and bloody bags 2-3 goals every game,
he'll pretty come up
puts his
shite.
performances.
He's saying
then-
that he wants to stay, doesn't he, Slimani, already? Which I find.
So
that
would I if I
quite-
was getting paid for doing
No,
that.
I know, but Kennedy has never said that.
Yeah.
Kennedy says he's great to be here, he'll try his best. Slimani's literally saying, I will stay here.
Well, that's because he
Already.
knows he's
So,
not going to get his game back at Leicester.
I
is he?
didn't think Kennedy would for Leicester. Sorry, apologise, Chelsea.
Oh no,
don't
if Kennedy goes back to Chelsea,
I
he'll
don't
just
think
play
he's
the
going
World
to
Cup
be.
game. Like, I don't
He's
think
not
he'll
going to be
ever
a
go.
regular in
he's
Chelsea. He's
not.
not going
that
to
good.
get
He's
ahead
not that
of.
good.
I tweeted out with Kennedy. I went
Give him a season, 2 seasons, then.
after that game on Sunday. I tweeted out saying, Kennedy, there's no way he's going to come. Chelsea will keep him. I went, but he'll not experience the love that we've got for him from any other fan base.
I
The
say that
only
every
hope
week.
we've got is Conte getting sacked or leaving at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
but we said
which
this
is
last week,
looking-
and
No,
it
I-
doesn't matter which manager's in charge of Chelsea, they don't have any control of the players coming in and out.
He might want Conte to get the sack because he's not getting an opportunity under Conte, and you might get someone else in who might love him. I don't know, obviously you could, but
The reception he got when he went off the pitch, like
the first, I've said this a lot of times. You look at like Lascelles, for example, as captain, he comes out. There's a flag of him, man, in the next to Benitez and the Gallagher end, and things like that. No matter where he goes, he's never ever going to feel the love and the respect that he has.
Never.
So it must be amazing for him. But some players don't look at that. They look at winning.
The money.
On the money. Look at Demba Ba. He was loved up here. Went to Chelsea, played a handful of games. Now he's in Turkey or whatever.
He still
For
loves
me,
the tune, though.
well, maybe,
He does,
but not enough to
but-
stay though. No, it was only 20 grand extra a week, and he left. You know what I mean? So he doesn't. No one loves.
I think
football,
that
but-
was
it's about winning.
for
things,
him.
honestly.
That
For
was
players like
Yeah,
that was
been there 10 minutes and
ambition.
he won one of the cups, won it.
He didn't go to Chelsea just to sit on the bench and pick up his wage packet. He went there because he thought he was going to be in the team.
I think Steve Sidwell.
It was Benitez, wasn't it? Benitez took him to Chelsea.
There's loads of players.
Steve Sidwell was a bloody good player
And
when he went to
He
Chelsea.
was a dick. He's never going to play, man. He went. Who else went from Swansea to? I know we're getting off topic here. Plays for Celtic now. What's he called? Sinclair. He left wherever it was. Lost Swansea to go to Man City. He played 4 games. I think I've been with him.
Well, any
Just take
young
it.
player that goes to
They're gone for this.
Chelsea, Man City, they go because they think, right, I'm going here. I'm going to be, going. Like Barkley's gone to down there, hasn't he? Is he going to get in the team every week?
But he wasn't.
Is he
going
going
to everything at all?
Exactly.
So I mean, it's a fantastic move for him. But Kennedy, there's no chance we're going to sign him. Unfortunately, there's no chance. We might get him back on loan though. You know what I mean? Like they might say, well, we don't want him yet still, but you can loan him.
Yeah,
again.
well, that's what I'm
That
saying.
might
You know,
happen.
maybe in a couple of seasons he might be able to get into the team. So they might say
It's been a successful loan.
you've had a good 6 months there. You've played. Do Do you fancy another going back again? Because we'd have him back.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Providing he keeps up the performances that he
Kenton
has in his
Spartan
first 2 games.
sends in Mourinho's comments after the game about the fight like animals, and can we carry that into Liverpool away and Southampton at home? Bournemouth away, we've got Bournemouth away.
I hope so.
For me, the Southampton game, I think not just the players, us as fans have to be the same again.
Yeah.
I wish we could treat every game.
But I'm not there.
Are you not?
No, it's the first game I'm missing this season.
Fair enough. I just wish we could treat every home. It's difficult. Like I understand it every game, but you know what I mean by the atmosphere. That Southampton game, I honestly think we'll sit there and go, oh well, we'll win the day. That's the problem.
That's the worrying thing.
And didn't Rafa say that at that talking? It was amazing when he said that. He says when we play at home against anyone that's 9 or down over, the fans expect
to win.
Whereas Brighton. Or he says Brighton, really funny.
Brighton and Huddersfield.
Huddersfield and Brighton, their fans are just happy to be there.
Yeah.
So they're just, you know what I mean, they love the moment and they're behind the team. Whereas he thinks we're Newcastle United, our fans think that.
But I think George Cole can expand on that and say Newcastle are used to being in the Premier League, and the likes of Brighton and Huddersfield, they're just, like you say, they're happy to be there.
But then Rafa said, but you have to remember, we've just come up.
Yeah.
And we've got the youngest team in the league, we've spent no money. Like, be realistic. Be realistic, you know what I mean?
I'm getting deja vu. Didn't we sit here and say this very thing?
What?
About our expectations about
have,
beating certain teams and things like that, and
that's why
just
we're the best unofficial official
the team
podcast.
like Burnley's and Stokes and stuff like that.
Have I said something here? Is that a point at me, sorry?
No, I think
I thought he was saying to me as if I've said that.
Well, actually, you did.
I probably did.
But
I don't.
No, I
don't
was saying
go
that
to the match.
that's what we said.
I don't go to the match like. Well, the funny thing is if anyone ever asks me the score, I always say we're going to lose. Always. I always say we're going to get beat.
Right, Quidden sends in, if/when Rafa keeps us, should he be a contender for, he actually says manager of the year, but I think he means manager of the year.
Are we in the manger? Nah.
If he
No.
If he keeps what I think he should be, like, because we're team shite. Like, he's done wonders, man. If he keeps us up,
We'll spend £5 million.
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, who's going to get it? Like, who's going to get it?
It's going to get
Guardiola.
It's going to get to
Guardiola,
of course, because he's going to win the league.
Yeah, Pardew got it. He didn't win the league.
Yeah. Don't stop giving him credit.
Sorry.
Pardew's a
He won
fraud.
both, didn't he?
Pardew is a fraud.
Right. Daryl Mitchell-Hill's back
He won it.
with another question. As minute as... will someone else read these? Because I'm
just
gone.
again.
Yeah, my eyes are
It's
gone, man.
Daryl
Daryl Mitchell-Hill.
It's because you're old.
Hello, Daryl, mate.
That's what it is.
As mint as it is seeing the loan signings doing well, still buzzing from Sunday in brackets, are you not a little bit sad to think how well we could be doing if Rafa was backed properly in the transfer market with money and permanent signings? Surely we'd be better off.
Oh, of course, that's the most frustrating thing, like he wasn't backed.
When you see the players, we've been critical in the past of other signings like Sells and Hanley or whatever, but if you look at the ones that he has brought in, they've done canny hunter, like, you know, you look at the likes of these, you know.
That's the thing, you've got to balance.
Hang on.
You've got to balance
That's-
every good signing with.
It's probably
with
half
some
and
not
half, I
so
would say.
good
It's very
signings.
split down the middle.
I
isn't
think
it?
if you look at what I'm saying,
It depends. Did he sign?
I'm looking
those
at the Premier
players
League,
past,
when he
or did he
signs
sign
Premier
these
League
ones
players,
now?
when he signs when we're getting promoted,
Yeah.
you think if he was bringing, I'm still on the fence with Murphy a little bit, but he's obviously got talent. You look at who else has he brought in since the summer and now?
Manquillo.
Manquillo.
Ah, fuck.
So so you only. I get what he's saying.
Maybe I'm
is
looking
that
at January.
you are thinking that.
They're saying, well,
Yeah,
he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be.
You just.
I think
He talked about something interesting again when we went to have a chat with him in the week of that. He doesn't just sign a player based on they look great on a football pitch. He likes to understand them as a person. He wants to find out what their attitudes like, their behaviours like. What are they like off the pitch, outside of it? Are they a good fit for the team?
For the club.
For the club. So it's not just about identifying that somebody that can go on there and, you know, go and play football. It's about bringing that whole package, isn't it?
It is. And I think, going back to the question, I think maybe I'm looking more so at the January ones, and I just think these are just loan signings. Can you imagine if we trusted him, or not to trust, but we'll give him that money, what he could really bring in? Can you imagine, man? He'd obviously have contacts, he's got knowledge, of course, and I just think, like...
But for every diamond, there's a Matt Sells there waiting.
And he said that, didn't he? He said that in the summer.
Is that like which philosopher said that? For every diamond, there's a Matt Sells waiting.
It's... You won't get everyone right.
And he said that, though. He said that's not like... We do all the research just to see him, and it's not sometimes our fault that it doesn't work. Sometimes it is just the individual. Like we've looked at his background, we've looked at his family, we've looked at how many times he goes for a piss. They know everything about him. Sometimes it just doesn't work. So the next
you cannot say that would be the case of our previous managers. They wouldn't have done that amount of research and background checks and that kind of thing into the players that we were
signing. Podger was probably
not a chance in hell.
Searching for the closest brothel that he found.
He was probably looking at how good looking the player's wife was. He was trying to sign.
I don't think he did. But anyway, no, I don't think he did. I honestly don't. I don't even think he had the opportunity to look because everyone else was buying them. He'd have bought a player in his life, man, when he was here. There's no way he bought any of them players.
Next,
Josh Wiley. After the result yesterday,
he wearing his Rolex.
Who, me? Oh, that's Josh Wiley. After the result yesterday, do you think we will now kick on and stay up?
No.
Yes,
100%. I said last week 100%.
You said no. You think we're going to get relegated? Fucking end the podcast now. Fucking hell, you kidding?
You said we're going to be Man United?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Right. Let's look at this sensibly.
This podcast.
Let's look at this sensibly, right?
Ben Arthur.
We were playing Man United on Sunday, right?
What? I'm just kidding.
Look at our performance levels. Every single player was given absolutely everything. Take yourself back to last season. Every team that we were playing last season played like that. Mm-hmm. Because you're playing against a much better team, a higher level team. You pick up your performance to go out and do it. And will they put in that same amount of effort, same level of performance, throw the bodies in front of the line against
the week before we did that
against West Bromwich Albion?
But you said last week we still got the top 6 to play, so going by that, we should. Yeah, we win now.
Well, last 9 games we've lost 2.
I don't think I'm not saying we'll get relegated. I'm just saying it's not going to be as easy.
No.
If we played like that every week, yes.
Did anyone else do the score, the league predictor in the Chronicle today?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh.
I'm struggling to see where we're going to get this. I think we need another.
We need 4 wins.
4 wins.
And we've got Southampton.
Do we still not need like 12 points or something now?
We've got 37 now, man.
Have we?
Aye.
We're on 37 points. We're not, man.
Someone said that.
We're not on 27.
Nah.
27,
37.
No,
which one? 37.
No, sorry, I've thought of that wrong in my head.
We're on 27 points, I think. Oh, aye.
Someone.
Because I'm working it out. We still need 4
wins.
wins.
28.
I counted the win. Sorry, that I think we're going to get. Sorry.
I think we still need 4 wins or the equivalent points. So you either have to draw every single game between now and the end of the season, and that'll give you enough points.
The 3 teams that get relegated.
Now we're on 28.
I think the 3 teams that get relegated won't get above 35.
Alright, that's how. Because I was thinking the games I think they'll win would get to 37, and I think 37 will be enough. And bearing in mind, they're games I'm expecting to win. So you might have another Man United job where you just nick a freak result and you're not expecting. You know.
You look at games like.
But Man United haven't been brilliant this season.
Second.
That's why.
They've only lost 5 games this season.
Nah, but that's why I had that bit of confidence that would get something from.
Well, you're looking at Southampton and West Brom, aren't you? Those are your 2 games that you're looking at and thinking.
West Brom, we have to beat them.
Yeah.
Have to beat them. And they look poor.
Bournemouth.
But they're the games that we lose.
Even getting a point at Bournemouth away would probably be a decent result for us. Just to get
Bournemouth have had good form. They fell off a little bit, but will they continue on that?
Bournemouth soon as.
Will they continue on that slump?
I think it's a shame we haven't got a game now, like Wednesday night.
Well, that's the thing, you want to
2 weeks off. It's crap.
Strike while the
I would have took a game straight after that one.
100%.
Next, Bournemouth. Come on.
What if you had a game tomorrow night or something like that? Off the back of that, when you're still feeling up a height.
I said at the start, way back, that it would finish 4th bottom, 5th bottom. I said, didn't I? I said, because I always said we'll not score enough goals. That's still me. Even now, I still think that. But
13th, I think I said would finish.
Well, that's where we are now, but you can see how it's only 2.
Well, we said if we finished the upper mid-table, you're taking that as a good season.
Barring a miracle, West Brom are gone. The 7 points off now. barring a miracle.
That's 7 points without anyone else
Winning,
picking
exactly.
up points.
And people are, that's the thing. Like,
It's still,
Huddersfield got a result there, didn't they? Them go out the bottom three.
but between second, bottom, and 10th, there's three points in it.
We're
Man.
2 points off a relegation zone.
It's crazy.
But if you look at, that's why I was thinking, and this is the problem, isn't it? You always say, well, I'll win that one. Like, it's quite easy to say that, isn't it? But we're on 28, right? If we won the next one, if we beat Bournemouth, would go in their position, which is 10th.
I know we're saying we'll perform better against the top teams, but we
But
need
you're
to be
really
winning
not.
and picking the points up against the lower teams.
Yeah.
Well, that's where
it's the
we were
ones that
best,
are around
though.
and about you.
That's where Rafa was the best. All these statistics were coming out saying that in and around we were the best at doing that. So let's hope that continues, obviously. I mean, look, West Brom's only won 3 games all season, man. We've won 7. Obviously, we have drew a few. It's certainly recently.
Good.
If we draw every game between now and the end of the season, I'll take that.
I don't even dislike West Brom. I just don't like Pardew, so I'll be happy to see him get relegated. Just to stick my fingers on all the pundits that laughed at us and slated us.
Well,
for
Crystal
winning
Palace
out.
fans hate them now. They know that what
And
we were
West Brom
saying to
fans
them.
will hate him now as well.
They loved him, didn't they, when he first came to Palace? They loved
Oh,
him.
they won a few games. They won a few games on the bounce. Oh, the
The
Newcastle fans.
Pardew
Oh,
effect,
thanks,
he's a
man.
fraud. He's an
He
absolute
ruins
fraud.
every club he goes to, man.
Pardew.
But I honestly think we'll stay up. I really do. And I said that last week before even the Man United game. I think we'll have enough. Just enough.
It's just so tight.
It is,
That's what she said.
Shall we call it night? Oh, hang on.
Man,
We'll call it night after that.
Southampton, I'm surprised that they're struggling. It's Rafa's made that, isn't it, as well? Shame that.
Good players, good manager. It's
Good players, I think. Like, but sometimes with Southampton, I knew this would happen, and I said,
Caught up with them, man.
Selling all these players. They've sold the world, but like Alana's and all of them.
Yeah.
Liverpool just buy them all
Yeah.
anyway. But then they've replaced them with good players, and they've managed to.
they've had a lot of injury problems
Now-
as well.
now it's
That's done them. Injuries.
We only stay on because of Rafa. Like, there's no other way about it. We'd be where West Brom were if it wasn't for him.
You could be right. There's a good squad there.
I'd love to think we
Like
get
a good,
just
not like good squad
Good
talent-wise,
lads.
but like
Good lad. They are good
like
lads.
close knit thing. You can't say, can't you?
100%.
that for me. Looking at it now, I'd think would be more likely to stay up this season than the last couple of seasons, even when we haven't gone down, based on the group of players that we've got and the fact that they
We haven't had this for a while. It's quite refreshing to see this little.
they will literally die for each other.
Yeah, we've always questioned attitude, like Matt and people like that. So it goes, we've always had someone to question and go, he doesn't give a shit. But these actually generally do.
Yeah.
There's no doubt they do.
The reaction when there's a picture from full time of the whole pitch when that final whistle's blown in, every single one of our players is celebrating it.
But you can just tell, like, if a player, like, just look back a couple of months ago where Diarmi wasn't pulling his weight in training and Lascelles is straight in there telling him he's got to pick his game up.
He's the glue of that dressing room.
It's ridiculous for such a young lad to have this responsibility and for him to take on the role and do it so well is unbelievable.
It honestly is. It's unbelievable.
Like, he's an absolute credit to this club right now.
He really is.
Like, alongside Rafa, he is up there.
Yep, definitely.
And like Rafa gets all the plaudits, but we need to like admire this kid and start building a defence around him.
He's absolutely
Because he's just improving and improving. And when Walt is talking to Rafa, someone asked a question, should he be getting the call up for England? And he went, it's still early. Let him progress because he's still progressing as each game goes by.
He really played that down, didn't he, actually?
He did, I.
He really played that
Because he
down.
probably doesn't want Lascelles' head again, the clouds and think I can go to a World Cup, yeah. And
When you
I
look
would
at that,
probably expect him to go to the World Cup the way he's
Small-
performing.
well, you
Small
kind
goals.
of think that he can be behind Phil Jones and Chris Smalling.
I know. Especially the season that he's having in a team that's been struggling for the majority of the season.
I mean, he'll have to go with something to get in ahead of Cahill. And I don't know, who's he going to be?
Well, there was someone that were talking about you that day, man. I can't remember.
If he's playing for one of the top teams in England, he's a shoo-in for that, man.
I can't remember what it is now.
He's an absolute shoo-in. They'd probably be looking around
He's a
thinking, shall we give him the
young
cameras
English
on, man?
talent. Yeah.
But the fact that he's at Newcastle, it's very rare that we'll see one of
It'd
our
be nice.
players.
It would be nice to see him go, just for him to even not necessarily for him to be bloody playing, but just to
Experience
go and
it.
have that experience.
It's
and
only going to mature him even more.
Exactly.
I do worry.
Be on
about
that world
the
stage.
Like, I in that group. I don't know. I worry about that.
There's always that.
I just worry that they got more money than.
Well, you would
him.
hope that Lascelles, if he did go away, and I know what you're saying, a lot of them groups, well, all of those players in that group are playing for the top teams and they say, oh, come here, blah, blah, blah. It's happened before.
Or money.
Happens all the time.
They talk about money and stuff.
But like,
you might, I don't know.
I'd hope Lascelles is probably grounded enough to think that's just gonna like halt me career.
Yeah. I probably agree with that. Like, I'd heard stories about Carroll that when Carroll was getting called up and stuff, and all of a sudden his Geordie roots of like in the Gallagher as a season ticket holder went from hang on a second, I should be earning money like these are, and it just I don't know the group that you're in.
He was a lot younger though.
Was he? I don't know. Like to be honest, I don't know.
But I just think that we should.
He's unreal. He's absolutely immense. He's immense.
He deserves all the credit he's getting.
All of it, yeah.
And he should be getting even
from
more.
From a shaky start, really. If you think about it, he's
especially we weren't even sure if we're going to see him this season.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Right. Shall we call now? Thanks, Lascelles. Thank you. Remember that?
love you.
Thanks, Lascelles. Aye, we'll call it night. Thanks to our sponsors, International Glass Consultants and Guglielmo Clothing. I'll put a link in this.
You've practiced on that, haven't you?
Aye. I'll put a link in this. You get 10% off clothing with them.
Do you get 10% off glass?
And also,
from Steve.
I got a message, 10% off glass. I got a message after
discount
the game.
code Steve.
About 2 hours after the game from the Gallagher Shots account, I got a message saying, will you be recording a podcast tonight? Right? We'll just put
when
it
was
out.
this, on Sunday?
On Sunday. We'll just put it out now, right?
we would have made 0 cents on Sunday after a match.
A victory, right? Because
Or a defeat.
Or a defeat.
No, well, we're definitely not doing it after a victory
No.
because we're too busy getting absolutely hammered.
I know a lot of people would love to listen to thoughts afterwards. And,
They wouldn't.
they
wouldn't like to listen to us an hour after a game when we've won.
No, they would, because I think they'd be expecting for it to be quite a happy, ecstatic type podcast. But after the game is our time to go and enjoy it and get pissed at our faces.
You know, them 15 minutes at the end of last week. That's us after the game.
After the game, aye. So like, we'll all release a podcast, especially after a victory like Man United. But it's always gonna be a couple of days after because we want to enjoy the result ourselves.
Oh, I will. Of course.
So we're just like everyone else, man. Would you want to be coming saying, yeah, man, tired about it?
No,
want to be getting absolutely
getting
smashed over
drunk.
faces?
Well, we could do that and talk about it.
We could, but
You wouldn't have
No,
been able to
I
hear our voices over the music and Maddie's.
No, I've never got any. The Man United game, I had zero voice, man. I had none left.
we just went to the pub and
My
changed
ass loved it.
every single song we heard into a Modi Ome chant.
That's funny.
That's all we did.
I normally change every song to
forgot
kebab,
about
so...
That went on for like an hour
About
after you
4 or 5
left.
songs, wasn't it?
It works with every song. Every song you listen to, you can
Just
make that
like
Modi Ome
Well,
chant.
that's my challenge.
Every song.
What was the when we were saying about Mo's Yummy, and then I started chucking in "Dumb It" at the end of this. Oh dear.
We'll go all night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel.
Yes. Click on that button,
That button.
the subscribe one.
Right. Thank you very much, and we'll
See
you
you in
in a
a
couple of weeks.
fortnight or so.
Aye, fortnight, aye.
Bye.
I'll be Bournemouth, so it's all good.
Bye bye now.
Bye.